Okay, so this video is going to be a little bit different than usual, but I can relate it to astrology. Information versus knowledge, which is basically like Gemini energy versus Sagittarius energy, third house energy versus ninth house energy. And I'm going to tell you how that relates to my channel in a moment. One, also I want to thank all of my subscribers. If you are a returning subscriber, if you are a new subscriber, welcome. You know, the purpose of my channel is really to educate. So I give a lot of information out. And then I also, the information that I have has been interpreted by me, and, you know, I add my own insights to a lot of the common things that we hear, because sometimes some of the common things we hear are very common and we need to go a little bit deeper and go beyond. But, you know, thank you for everyone who leaves a positive comment, who's booked a reading. I really appreciate your support. It really keeps me doing this work. Now, I do want to say with a caveat to this video is everyone is not for everyone. And I've said that before. I would rather have I love the growth of my channel. I really appreciate it. I would rather have like really quality people who watch my videos, who resonate with things, or who know that sometimes they might not resonate, but they can still support my channel. Just like I support people's channel, even if there's something sometimes that I don't agree with. I would rather have that than like, oh, let me have millions of followers. Let me have thousands and thousands of people who aren't authentic. So my subscribers, a lot of my subscribers are really authentic people, through an email or through readings or through comments. People are like, I attract a lot of quality people, I would say. You know, obviously I don't know everybody that subscribes to me. I don't. But a lot of the people that I interact with, they're positive interactions. I see where they're coming from. They see where I'm coming from, right? And they're rational human beings. Like, they know, hey, yeah, this video really resonated with me, but maybe the other video didn't resonate with them, but they still can support me. That is what I feel like a lot of people are not understanding. The information versus knowledge. So I'll get to that in a second. So just to know, for those who support, my channel is not a debate channel. I get 99% positive comments, but it's not a debate channel. If you don't agree with me, one, I can always point you to a resource that can help you further if there's anything you disagree with. Trust me, I have tons and tons of information. I'm a moon in Sag, Virgo. I have Pluto and Saturn in the third house. I have a North Node in ninth house, 12th house energy. So, you know, like I was a little nerd when I was younger. Well, I went through a try to be cool phase, but, you know, I've always been into knowledge and information. Everything I say, I can back up. Okay, I want to make that very clear, because there are people on YouTube who can't back up what they're saying. Right? And I think a lot of people sometimes come here and they think it's the same fluffy, foo-foo stuff. And it's like, no, everything's vetted. And yes, I do believe in adding my own twist on things, because now information becomes knowledge and it becomes mine. So let's get into that topic. I want people to understand that when you get information, it is your job to figure out how to turn it into knowledge. Okay? It is your job to do that. Just like when I get information that opposes what I think, it is my job to go through my experiences and say, wait a minute, that doesn't resonate with me. And this could be politics, it could be news, it could be anything. Let me research that. That's not what I experienced. Let me do some digging. Let me try to truly understand this. And then I come to my epiphany of what my interpretation is. Knowledge is interpretation. So anytime someone is going through and interpreting something, it now becomes knowledge. Information is just given. Information is super important because that's where we start from. And sometimes we have to take it back. Look at society now. So many people think there's knowledge. And ninth house, Sagittarius energy is pushing. This is what I think. This is the message. This is the truth. But then we have to take it back to the third house. Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are the facts? So both are super, super important. The Gemini, the Sagittarius dynamic. I'm using it as an energy, not the signs right now. And this concept of information versus knowledge. Even when I do readings for people, I want them to empower themselves. Yes, I have people who come back for readings or transit readings or get a reading for their friends and things like that. But people, I'm not just gonna be like, this is your chart and you need to pay me $50 more, or I'm not gonna tell you this. No, I'm like, this is what your chart is saying, and these are some things you can do based on these placements. If you do this, then this will probably happen based on analyzing and interpreting the chart. So that's where I want people to use knowledge. They're going through reading their chart, and they need to turn it into knowledge. And that's just like these videos. I'm going to give you information. You need to connect the dots for you. And that's a skill I feel like some people have. And I'm just talking about society right now, not even just YouTube. this, and I've talked about this on my Instagram before, is that people want you to tell their truth for them instead of doing the work on their own. When you come to YouTube, someone is going to give you information and tell you their interpretation, their experience with it. Your job is to look at that information and say, okay, yeah, that's me, or that doesn't resonate with me. Let me figure out why. So you sometimes have people that want to challenge information, right? Well, that's not true for me. That's because you haven't done your own inner work. And honestly, with astrology, sometimes a lot of things don't seem true until you've experienced them. As someone who's always looking at my own chart and going through different experiences, there's certain placements that didn't resonate with me at first. And then I started to think, and I was like, oh, I didn't resonate with Venus in Cancer until, I didn't resonate with Venus in Cancer until I had children. Now, but it always was happening in my life. I just didn't realize it. Venus in Cancer in my 11th house was always doing something to draw certain types of people to me, certain types of organizations I was a part of. I just never understood it. I was trying to figure it out, but I'm like, this doesn't make sense. It does make sense. You just might not have figured it out yet. You might not have experienced it yet. Okay? So that's what I really want people to understand, is that information that's factual does not dictate your personal truth. If you want to deny it, go ahead. The point I'm making is people on my channel some of them can understand that. You can watch a whole video and say, yeah, I love the people who are like, yeah, for me, it's a little bit different because of this, because that means you have knowledge. I love that. When you are able to look at something and say, that doesn't work for me, but I know why. Instead of the people who are like, that doesn't resonate. Why did you say that? Like, one, if you are not my client, you cannot demand anything from me. Okay. Now, first of all, I respond to comments all the time. And again, if a person has a general question about their chart, I usually take a few moments out. I'll answer the question. If it's a question that has been answered in a video, I might give you a link to the video, because that's going to be my more well-formed out thought, is the videos that I've had time to actually analyze. You know what I mean? So sometimes I'm going to drop the link and say, oh yeah, I have a video about that, that sign, that placement. So I'm not saying like you have to pay me or I'm not going to respond to your comments. That's ridiculous. But what I'm saying is when people get mad because a video doesn't validate them, and you can't use YouTube to validate you if you aren't willing to do the work, because guess what? In life, you are going to experience things that contradict your experience, and you have to know how to respond to that, independent of YouTube, independent of social media. And so I'm finding that I'm seeing two buckets of people. I have people on my channel who just want to learn more about astrology, and they're listening and they're finding what resonates because they're trying to determine their own truth. That's knowledge. That's Sagittarius energy. That's 9th house. You got to figure out your own truth from information you get. You cannot just say, oh, that's not right. That's not right. For you, it's not. And again, the only people that have the right to do that sometimes and like say, oh, well, that's not right. What happened? No, you're a paying client. And the interesting thing is, like, my clients, I don't have that experience. But that's the thing. I would rather have really genuine people as clients, as subscribers, than have thousands and thousands and thousands of people who aren't willing to do the work. Astrology is not just going to give you this blueprint and say, here, you have to do the work and match the energy of it up, And so I say that just for some folks who are new here, and some of you are new and you're cool, but some of you are new and you're expecting a lot from me, but you're not a client. The people who can tell me how to do something are my actual supervisor in my career and my clients, because my clients will sometimes say, hey, for my reading, can you focus on this area of my chart? Can you focus on this? Can you tell me? And I'll do it, because we're exchanging energy back and forth. But you can't go on people's channel, demand, especially me. I'm a moon and Sag, Leo, Mercury, Mars. Yeah, Leo, right? Like, I might have these 12th house placements, but I don't do well with people trying to tell me how to do things if we haven't built that relationship. My clients can be like, hey, can you do my transit chart? And this time, can you do this? You're a paying client. You are respecting my time. I do have subscribers who request videos. I just did a video. Subscriber requested a Moon and Pisces video. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, I can do that. Because it's already something. I did a few videos on the Moon children, and I have a Moon and Pisces kid. So I was like, yeah, sure. So I don't want to sound like I'm saying I won't, you have to worship anything I say, but information versus knowledge. Information is exposure. Knowledge is experience. And when you encounter something that is contrary to what you believe is true, you're working from a place of knowledge, which can be a great place to be. But your own personal knowledge, your own personal truth, your own interpretation does not refute the facts. If everyone in the family has a hereditary disease, but you don't, does that mean the fact doesn't exist? No, it still exists, right? You're just the outlier. There's an exception to that. And again, sometimes people lack the experience to accept the truth. I've seen it. We've all seen this in real life. People lack the experience to accept the truth. So I definitely just wanted to share that out there. Again, I definitely appreciate the support. But I think the biggest thing when you're coming on my channel, what your expectations are, is information peppered in with my, my interpretation, my knowledge, my experience with things. But you need to find your own truth. And your own truth does not mean that facts about astrology do not exist. Okay? The facts are always going to be there, right? Once we start going through certain experiences, our own truth, our own journey might be different than what the facts are, but they're still important, because when we go too far in our subjectivity, in our knowledge, some people stop learning, and you can't ever stop learning, right? So then we do have to dial that back. Let's go back to the facts. And we also can't push our knowledge on people. I don't push anything on anybody. You come to my channel, we talk, we chat. You like it, great. I don't go to anybody else's channel trying to convince them of anything. I don't have time. Guys, come on. Use your time purposefully. I don't go with people's videos I don't like. Because listen, people, purpose and creation. When you are in a creative mode, you don't got time to go, oh, I disagree with you. Or why'd you say that? Or why did you talk about my placement? I'm sorry. So, I'm not talking about most of you, but it's like some people need to chill out, do some self-reflection, because time is precious, guys. And it's very precious. And there's so many things that have been happening lately that I've seen, people that I know in my personal life, things just in the news. You don't always have this time to go doing negative things and saying negative things. Find people you resonate with, find things that are purposeful, find things in life that bring you joy and that build you up, and indulge in those activities. Indulge in what resonates with you. You don't have time to debate people online. You really don't. It's really not worth my time. I might say something to someone. If someone says something, I'm going to say something back, but then I'm just going to be like, okay, I'm done with this. Because there's so many different things I have to do in the day. I don't got time to deal with things that don't speak to me. Why would you spend time doing that? So again, some of you are like, God, I told you, the 3 buckets of people. The people are like, yeah, I get you. The people are like, oh, I never thought of that. And the other people who are still like, why didn't you interpret this video the way I wanted you to? Or I came to your video expecting you were going to glorify me. Like those people, I'm hoping you got it. Again, I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not trying to be extra, but I just I think this can help people in general understand this dynamic between information and knowledge. So if you got to this video, thank you for watching.